Hi lovelies, I'm Ariel and this is Maven Unmasked with your Q&A video. I'm going to do a Q&A video series. This first Q&A video will be about tarot. You guys have been sending in some great questions, leaving some awesome comments on my YouTube channel and through social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So I wanted to take the time out to begin to answer some of these questions. So if you guys do have questions that you would like to see answered in some of the other Q&A videos I do, please feel free to leave a comment below, okay? And I will do my best to answer them. Okay, so for the first video, again, we'll be talking about tarot. So the first question is, do you read the books with each tarot deck or do you use your prior tarot knowledge? I use my prior tarot knowledge. The way I learned tarot was very intuitive. I didn't have a teacher. Yeah, there are books out there. I flipped through some of them, but I felt I didn't find anything that really helped me to read tarot in the way that I needed to learn to read it, if that makes sense. Of course, in my development, I did, read books, and I did go through the little white book that comes with the handy dandy Rider-Waite and, all of that. My first tarot deck actually was the Thoth deck, which is so different from the Rider-Waite, decks and that structure, although there also are some similarities. So that was kind of an endeavor. But no, I use my prior tarot knowledge. I use my intuition. I think guidebooks are great. I think they're great reference, especially if you get stuck or hung up on something or don't understand the symbolism in the card when you look at it. I think guidebooks are great validation. If you're learning to read tarot and you're working with your intuition, you're like, this is what I feel, the Four of Cups means to me. Let me go back in the guidebook and just see what the guidebook on this particular deck says. Although tarot meanings are standard, each author, each deck creator interprets it just a bit differently. But no, I use my intuition and my prior tarot knowledge whenever I get a new deck. Okay, but I do flip through each of them upon receiving the deck. Okay, so the next question is, why do I knock and blow on my tarot deck when I do readings? Is it from a particular tradition? So if you watch my Lightworker Evolution readings, or back when I did weekly readings, any reading I do, you will see me do this. I'll shuffle, 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 and then I will blow on the cards. That does not come from any tradition. That's just something, I've been doing it since I began my tarot practice. It felt like it just resonated with me. I think my guides gave that to me as a tool, as a method. When I knock on the cards, I feel like I'm getting them ready. I'm shaking up that magical energy. I kiss them with reverence and with love and appreciation, and I blow on them to inspire them with the inspiration of spirit. Inspiration is in the up breath as you inhale. So as I exhale, I'm blowing that into the cards. I'm putting my energy into the cards, my intention into the cards, the question, for the sitter into the cards. So that's why I do that. It just feels good. It's not something that you have to do to read tarot. If you feel called to use it, feel free. Some people just shuffle and lay. Some people, people do all different kinds of things, but that's just my method. It's not from any particular tradition. If someone out there is knowledgeable enough and is like, hey, that's from this tradition, I would love to know about it, because maybe I'm picking up on something of a past life or prior knowledge, or something that the universe has just given to me. My guides felt like I needed to know. So if someone finds information on that, I would be happy to read it. But no, it's just something that, my little witchy self decided to do when I started reading tarot. Okay, so how do I clear the energy of a used or swapped tarot deck? I have made a video about this, about how to clear the energy of a pre-owned, swapped, or traded deck. So I will be sure to leave the link to that below, but it is on the Maven Unmasked YouTube channel. But pretty much the short of it, what I do, there are a million different ways that you can do it. You don't have to do it. Again, if clearing isn't a big thing for you, or you don't feel like the deck, has anybody else's stuff, you don't have to. It's just a suggestion. For me, I may sage the deck. I may put it on a stick of selenite. I may put the deck back in order. If some cards are reversed, I'll turn them upright. I'll put all the suits and the quartz, and the minor and the majors all together in order to clear the energy of the deck. Leave it out, under the full moon to clear it. There's a million different ways that you can clear the energy of a pre-owned, swapped, or traded tarot deck, but I go into that in detail in the video. So again, I'll be sure to leave the link in the description box below for that video. Okay, so the next question, what do I do with jumper cards? I love this question. And I love jumper cards if you know anything about me. So what is a jumper card for those that don't know? A jumper card is I'm shuffling. Let's see if they'll do one today for me. They always do. There we go. So some cards fell out of the deck while I'm shuffling. These are called jumper cards. They jump out of the deck. Sometimes we'll be doing, a bridge shuffle and one will shoot out. Okay, shooters and jumpers. When a card jumps out of the deck, I take it as a pertinent message, a big, here you go from the universe, here's your sign, here it is. It's often a pertinent, a really important message. Do I always incorporate it as a part of the reading? Like if I'm doing a particular spread, will I put the jumper card as card number 1? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on what my intuition and my guides are telling me at the moment. Sometimes I will, feel the need to put it aside and address it as something else before the reading. Sometimes it has to do with the reading, sometimes it doesn't. So I would just use your discretion. Sometimes if it's really, really early in my shuffling and I don't feel like the deck has cooked enough, in the shuffling, if the question has cooked enough and absorbed that energy, I may put it back in the deck. It really just depends on what my intuition is telling me in the moment, what I feel for that particular client, what I feel for that particular reading. Okay. All right. What is your favorite reading that you do? So MavenUnmasked.com, under the book or readings tab, I have an assortment of all different kinds of readings, from karmic relationships, love and relationships, past life readings, custom readings, spiritual quest readings, a whole kit and caboodle of things. But my favorites, I don't know. I love all the readings that I do. Each of the readings that I offer, I have handcrafted and tailored the spreads to get the most out of that particular reading. But my favorites, I love my past life reading that I do. It's a ton of fun. All of the ones that I've done, people seem to really enjoy it. It really seems to resonate. They really have fun with it. It's a real fun reading to do. I also love my clarity and insight reading. I think that's straight and to the point. It's one of the first readings I ever offered. I really love the clarity and insight reading. I think it's great for just that, clarity and insight. And then one of the other favorite readings I do that I can think of off the top of my head is the Big Kahuna reading. So that's a 12 card reading, and it covers everything from love and relationships, home, family, career, money, health, all of it. It covers everything. So it's a really, really good, in-depth and thorough reading. So those are just a few of my favorites. Again, if you're interested in checking the ones I've just mentioned out or any of the readings I offer. Oh, and my full moon readings. How can I forget about my full moon readings? I offer full moon readings for about 3 to 5 days every lunar cycle at the full moon. And it's a 5-card spread. I think that they're great. I do have clients who book them month after month after month, and I think that's a good way to kind of see how you've grown and see how you've developed, and can take a look back on what you've worked on through a whole year's worth of lunar cycles. So That's another one of my faves. But again, MavenUnmasked.com, under the Book of Readings tab, you can find all of my reading options there and check out one that you feel would be appropriate for you and your needs. It would be an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Okay. So next, I'm like, you guys are picking on me a little bit. Why do you have so many decks? Yeah, I know. I'm a collector. I love the artwork. I love each deck's individual personality because they all have personalities. Some decks are snarky, some are really sweet and loving, some are real and straight to the point, some are great for creation, some are great for manifesting, some are great for when you're going through grief or hard emotional struggles. There's all different themes. I have so many decks because I feel like what deck may resonate with one person's energy may not resonate with the next person's energy, or the type of reading that I'm doing. Before I sit and do any reading, I sit and I tune into the client's energy and see which deck calls out with a pertinent message for that particular client or that particular sitter. Although all 78 cards are the same, you have, your pentacles, your cups, your wands, your swords, your courts, your minors, your majors. The images are different, the messages are different, the personality, the voice of each deck is different. So if I feel one deck may speak, better to a client than another, then I will use that deck. But again, artwork, big theme, big on that. The just energy of each individual deck. So that's why I have so many. Plus they're pretty and I'm a collector. I do have decks that I'll work with really hardcore for a few months and then I don't touch them for a few months, and then all of a sudden they'll call to me again. Or I will purchase a deck and I get it and I'm flipping through it and I'm like, why did I get this? I don't know how I feel about it. And then I'll let it sit for a few months and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm in a vibration. My vibration has become attuned to the energy of that deck, depending on what I'm going through, depending on what lessons I've learned, what energy I've tapped into. There's so many different reasons behind why I have so many decks. And that kind of ties in with the next question, is how do you pick which decks you work with? Again, so the theme or the color, or I love the illustrations, the artistry. Sometimes it's the author or the guidebook. Sometimes I may, go to sleep and see a deck and then the deck is on my mind forever and I can't get it out of my head. So I know I'm being called to work with it. But again, the same thing with picking decks for my clients, or when I post readings, or, 1, 2, 3, pick 3 cards on Instagram, or do little mini readings for the day, your message for the day. It's just, I'm tapping into the energy of the universe. I'm tapping into the energy of the day. I'm tapping into the energy within myself. And what am I being called to work with for today, for this client, for this particular reason or reading? Okay. Next question. What is my all-time favorite deck? And that's hard because I have a lot. But right now, in May of 2018, I've been working a lot with the Everyday Witch Tarot by Llewellyn Publishing. I think it's a really great every situation kind of deck. If I'm doing festivals or readings, I'll bring several different kinds of decks, again, to tune into the client's individual energy. But I feel like this is a great all-around, all-purpose deck. It's in, Rider-Waite style, but the images are so much cuter, and there's little kitty cats in every single card, and I love it. But it's really easy to read, really easy to tap into my intuition with this one, easy to shuffle. Gives great messages, accurate, on spot, all the time. So really love Everyday Witch Tarot for everyday readings. My other all-time favorite deck is the Lumina Tarot. Lumina Tarot. It is just, look at it, you guys. I do gush about this deck in my Love That Deck, the Lumina Tarot video. If you want to see more images of the cards, it's by Lauren Aletta of Inner Hue. She also has the Connected and Free Oracle, which I do enjoy quite a bit. But I love this deck. I think it's great for tapping into that witchy side, that hippie, intuitive, natural, magical, mystical energy. I absolutely adore it for that. I just think it's absolutely stunning. It gives me, if I'm reading for somebody and I know they're like into the woo woo, I'll pull out this bad boy because it's a really high vibe, ultra spiritual deck. And it's so good, you guys. It is so good. So good. So Lumina Tarot is another one of my all-time favorite decks. I've had this baby since 2015 and is still one I use on a very, very, very regular basis because it's gorgeous. Alrighty. I'm trying to think, do I have a favorite oracle deck I work with? I love the chakra reading cards. I just happen to have them handy right here. They're absolutely stunning. Stunning. Love this deck. Again, the Connected and Free Oracle is another one I love. Animal Kin Oracle is another one that I love. If you love animals or like working with power animals, spirit animals, it's gorgeous. Love it. Okay, but those are just a few of my faves. And the last question for this part of my Q&A series, we have, what tips do I have for someone just starting out on their tarot journey or their card reading journey? And that is to be patient with yourself. It's gonna take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. If you're, studied to get a degree, you don't get a degree in one day. Even if you're learning Reiki or something, that takes time. It's not like boom, one day, like you're done, you're a Reiki master teacher, boom. No, it's a lifelong process. It's a lifelong journey of learning. So be patient with yourself, pace yourself, be steady with yourself. Don't compare your journey to somebody else's. Oh, so-and-so is a better reader than me, or they have more followers than me, or, they always get the nice, cool new decks, whatever it is. Your journey is your own. It is your own individual journey. Allow it to unfold naturally in its own time and as it's supposed to. Don't freak out over trying to memorize 78 card meanings. I know how hard that was for me in the beginning of my journey. Try tapping into your intuition more instead of coming at it from an academic perspective. Come at it from a spiritual and intuitive perspective and see if that makes a difference for you. But keep a journal and be patient with yourself. But I'm Ariel, and this has been Maven Unmasked with the first part of my Q&A video series. Today we were talking about tarot. If you would like to book a reading with me, please head on over to my website, www.MavenUnmasked.com. And if you'd like to learn more about me, watch more of my videos, you don't want to miss out on anything, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can like the Maven Unmasked Facebook page, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. But it's been such a pleasure, you guys, and see you on the next one. Bye.